What's up, SNA fans? This Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And yep, you guessed it. This is the wrestling news video on April 24, 2024, where I'm gonna be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Fightful Select article. And make sure to watch to the very end because I have a feeling these wrestling news reports are gonna get very interesting. So yeah, stay tuned and watch it to the very end, and then you're going to figure out what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Starting off with some Mason Mansoor. Not Mansoor, just the Mason news now, as he designed the logo for Retribution in WWE. Uh, is now using those skills to help secure funds for the SGW in Uganda. Former WWE superstar Mace wasn't just a member of Retribution. He designed the group's logo. Mace, now known as Mason D. Madden, and on the independent circuit was briefly a part of the WWE faction known as Retribution. During a interview with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, uh, Mansoor uh, Mansoor Mace's tag team, like in the Maximum Male model, has been also revealed that Mace also designed the logo for also that faction that was put on WWE merchandise. This graphic design skills have helped Mace post WWE, as he also designed the crossover shirt featuring MXM and stars of Uganda's soft ground wrestling. In the interview, Mace and Mansoor explain why it is very important for them to raise money for SGW from the proceeds generated by merch sales. And they said, starting off with Mansoor, Mason not only made the maximum male model, like maximum male or no, not the maximum male, but what I'm talking about, the MXM and SGW shirts. Like, a little known fact, but he also designed a Retribution logo that was on WWE merchandise. And Mace added, "I did. So when I'm done taking bumps and getting concussions, please hire me as a graphic designer." Mansoor then also added onto this, saying, "We have that T-shirt on out on foryourwear.com. All proceeds go to SGW, and on top of that, on May 6th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be streaming live on Twitch, at Twitch TV at Twitch dot TV / Great Black Ota, Ota, Otaku, and we're basically going to raise money for soft ground wrestling, so that these kids can have food. We can get them beds, and we're going to get them a new lease on the land. they they don't own the land. They rent it, and the landlord wants to grow sugar canes, and then Mace then finish up finished off saying it's like an '80s movie. The landlord wants to make the soft ground land a sugarcane farm, or yeah, and then this is where Mansour then finished off it into his interview saying he wants to make a a plantation on the training grounds, and we need to stop him. And fans learned about more about the maximum male model booking in their own or their not again their MXM booking during during their own angle, like in Uganda. And what am I even saying right now? My apologies, by the way. The maximum male models and the Retribution faction when he was teaming with T-Bar and Slapjack and Reckoning and Mustafa Ali. Well, now they're going by, well, I'm not sure what's Shane Thorne's name is now, but yeah, T-Bar's going went back to NXT known as Dijak, while Reckoning's on the main roster on SmackDown as their old name is Mia Yim, with Mi Chen added to that. And then Mustafa Ali, he's on TNA and the independent scene. And I believe he's still the reigning defending X Division champion, and he's defending it there, like in a normal base, along with taking it out onto the in the European circuit, like in the independent scene, and yeah, and I'm glad he's doing very well in his career, like outside of WWE. Anyways, yeah, let me know what your thoughts in the comments below. Like on what's your reaction of Mace being the designer of the logo for both Retribution and the Maximum Male models. But yeah, let me know in the comment section right down below. And do you think they're doing a very successful job raising money at this Uganda promotion called what's it called? Not under soft ground wrestling, yeah, to raise the money to uh, to get the children some food and pay the debt off of like of the land, like so the kids can stay there, because can continue to stay there, because yeah, they don't have nowhere else to go. When again they're trying to, I think they're trying to get them a place to stay, but in the meantime they have to stay there, like, and that, again, that's very unfortunate. Like, they don't have like a place to stay, like they do, like in this country, and like in the other countries in North America. Like, yeah, that's very unfortunate. Like over in there into that country, like there's really no houses, or no working technology or anything like that, like cell phones or TV or anything like that. Like, it's they're lucky if they even have a meal, or even have anything that like Americans or any other citizens that's in North America even has. Yeah, or even or even in the most prestigious and what's that or even the most prestigious and the most fortunate, like people like in the other countries, like in Japan and in China and certain places in Europe. But yeah, hopefully they are doing successful in raising the money, so the landlord cannot turn the land into a sugarcane farm. But yeah, I'm gonna give that, like me, out of character moment. I wish for them the best, and hopefully they successfully do so, like and overcome the plans of the landlord. Looking like this is looking like something from the 1980s, or even some kind of a inspiration drama movie, like what if it's like a family movie or some kind of mature movie like that that's based off a true story, but that has a happy ending in the end. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, and it sure does seem like it. Like, and yeah, this is absolutely 100% correct. But yeah, I wish them the very best onto their goals, like into doing this money raising at in this money raising moment. Like I'll say not really a moment. It's really just I'll say this money making or fundraising at this fundraising time, not money making, because it's not like they're hustling for their sake, but to raise money for the children's sake over in the Uganda. Yeah. But let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got some AEW news now. Is Tony Schiavone on Will Ospreay with him saying, "I don't know like anyone who has come in and captured excitement as quickly as he can." Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone speaks highly Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson at AEW Dynasty this past Sunday. Will Ospreay defeated the American Dragon Bryan Danielson in a dream match that sparked plenty of buzz and has widely been considered one of the best matches in recent memory. Speaking on his what happened when podcast, Tony Schiavone was asked about AEW Dynasty as co-host Conrad Thompson noted that Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson had a great match, and he said, "Yeah, didn't we expect it? Didn't we expect it though? Didn't we all know that it was going to be a great match? Listen, to me, Bryan Danielson not only is to me one of the greatest performers ever, but one of the favorite people of all time. You can sit and talk to Bryan Danielson for a long, long time about wrestling, just like you can with Chris Hero, like just sit and talk wrestling with them and just pick their brain and talk about the history of wrestling and moves or the business. So I knew it was going to be a great match. Will Ospreay to me has become like the I don't know how to describe him. If I say, oh, the greatest of all time, that would be wrong to say. That like but I don't know anybody that has come in such a short period of time and captured the excitement of the fans as Will Ospreay has, not only with what he can do in the ring, but his promos, with the exception of some of the things he said. His promos have been great, wonderful. So I'm just amazed at him. Like every time I see Will Ospreay, I say, slow down, like dude, like you got a lot of wrestling ahead of you. you don't want to kill yourself. I don't know how to do it any other way. So yeah, the match was wonderful. I wasn't on the call, but Okada and Pac was wonderful as well. Jeff Jarrett recently called Danielson's match against Will Ospreay one of the uh, ages. And what's your thoughts on this match? Do you think and do you agree with Tony Schiavone and this was the greatest match of the night? Or do you think that it was Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe or something totally different into this match? Let me know in the comment section right down below. I was nearly this close of giving it the number one match of the night if Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe did not deliver. But they did exactly that, and that's why they got number one because yeah, they put on a thunderously good performance for the AEW World Championship, and but yeah, Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson did a momentously tremendous job of of yeah what's that of getting the fans' attention, I guess you could say, and them cheering this is awesome and we're not worthy, and then one half is cheering for Danielson and the other half is cheering for Will Ospreay. Everybody was on the what's that was in a row when it come to excitement. Like they were, yeah, and yeah, Danielson and Ospreay definitely succeeded into this role and is be known as the most charismatic and the most creative and the most amazing and incredible and a memorable match, like in a dream match in that fact, like that anybody's ever seen in professional wrestling, like over AEW, WWE, TNA, New Japan, any wrestling promotion that you can think of right now. Like they definitely did a successfully phenomenal job, like putting it all together basically. And hopefully they have Will Ospreay can continue having memorable dream matches like this, like it did even with Konosuke Takeshita. Even though like that match was not I'll say in my opinion was not the number one best match, but it still was the best match, like on the top 5 list. I'll say if not the top 2 or 3 list, which thinking this was probably the second match of the night on my review video on Revolution. But my point is, yeah, he cannot go wrong. And some might say like y'all like you're just not too much of a Will Ospreay fan because you would have given him a number one spot on this list, but like on the card for Dynasty, on how they perform. Like I seen that, and that's why they got second place. Like it's just that. When he got Swerve Strickland like becoming AEW World Championship, like was was number one on my opinion. Like with him finally successfully winning the big one, and I'll say if it wasn't for the and if it wasn't for and also if it wasn't for the genuine match, like I for the genuine match, like for being the match of the night. Even though most of the fans would have been saying like Swerve deserves that championship, and if he loses, like what would be the whole flubbing point, basically? Yeah. But yeah, I'll say I'm giving that number one. Who knows? Maybe the next match on Double or Nothing for Will Ospreay's next match, like whether if it's a dream match or some kind of a rivalry match. Like I may put it as the number one match of the night. Like if he could do just of a just of a great job that he did with Bryan Danielson this past Sunday, then yeah, it's definitely getting number one on my list, on the top 10 list of great matches of the year of AEW or in all of professional wrestling, and the match of the night on my future Double or Nothing review video. So yeah, continue to stay tuned for that, and let me know in the comments down below on what your thoughts onto this excuse me what's your thoughts on this on this match on AEW Dynasty, and also excuse me, and let me know in the comments below on what's next for the Aerial Assassin after this big win. And then I heard in recent wrestling on the recent wrestling news that Will Ospreay said on the media scrum that he's going to retire that tiger that that little tiger driver maneuver that he hits, that's like a pile driver move, like that he hit on Bryan Danielson this past Sunday. And I'll say maybe for the best if it's a very dangerous move, like if it caused injuries in the past and has some very bad experience on it, then I'll say that'll be very understandable. But at the same time, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like maybe it's for that reason. That's what I'll say. But I try to look things in the positive side of things. So I guess I so I so I guess you could say that I'm understanding him in his perspective, like of him retiring it, because I'm thinking about like, hey, like maybe it's because he had accidentally injured his opponents with this move. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. But at the same time, like you never know, because why would he immediately retire it right after seeing that scare from Bryan Danielson? Well, some say he's okay, and then maybe just a few bruises on his neck, but there's no it's far from an injury, of course, especially a career-ending one. And this is and him doing that was just overselling, like him looking like if his neck really was broken in half, like when him overselling, and it's all just part of the work, like for Danielson to do. And do you think this is a great idea to do that, just to make Will Ospreay more of a star, or do you think it's too goofy and silly for Danielson to do that? Let me know that in the comment section right down below. But that's what we got from one AEW personality to another. One AEW personality to another of his reaction and his take on the Ospreay versus Danielson match from this past Sunday on AEW Dynasty in St. Louis. Like Jeff Jarrett has a few things to say. He shared his 2 cents in calling it the one ages, like, and he cannot wait for a rematch in the foreseeable future. And at AEW Dynasty, Will Ospreay faced off against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and he emerged victorious, in a thrilling match, which ended with an apparent injury scare after Ospreay hit Danielson with a Storm Driver 91. That's what the name of the move is. Storm Driver 91. Yeah. Like when him going for a double hook and hit him with like a pile, like in the pile driver maneuver. But anyways, before he clinched the win, before he clinched the win with a blade. But anyways, speaking on My World with Jeff Jarrett, the WWE Hall of Famer was asked to share his thoughts on Ospreay, his match against Danielson. He replied, "Speaking of video games, that's where I think Danielson has always set himself apart, because as time evolves, uh, basketball evolves. We talked about Caitlin Clark a few weeks ago. Why do I think she's a draw? I think she's the first female basketball player that you can really draw in in a analogy. Like, man, like this girl is like a video game. Like, or this girl's like a video game player. Let me rephrase that. I forgot to add on play. Luckily, I correct myself before I continue. But anyway, she crosses half court, like, and can launch it from anywhere. We saw like that we saw with Steph Curry. We see quarterbacks, like we see point guards. We see Aaron's, we see Judge, we see let's see, we see Aaron Judge, we see Otani, like different athletes. Just as the generations, they are bigger, faster, stronger, but they are just amazing. We can easily draw like the anal analogy like of the video game. I think Daniel Bryan has had the ability, like, and yes, he can do all kinds of moves, but to me, his uh his timing and storytelling like sets him apart. Well, then along comes Will Osprey. I'm not saying he's just come along because he's been grinding and doing what he needs to do in his Japan career speaks for itself. And now, like, he's stepped into the AEW world. I don't think athletic wise he has a peer. He can do things that other guys can't. I also think he does the sub the sub the sub the ladies, like, and the new and the nuances, like, so look, the match has already taken place, but I'm still hyped about AEW, the brand. We presented a professional wrestling match that is you can't see it anywhere else. It was one for the ages. As a promoter, it's this simple. I can't wait to see the rematch, he said. Jarrett has said that he thinks Osprey is the most athletically gifted wrestler in the world today. And what are your thoughts on Jeff Jarrett's opinion on Will Osprey and the match itself in general? Like, with the most definitely delivered, and uh, it was the most intriguing match, I would say, the way I would put it. The way I put it, like, into what I see what Jeff Jarrett's saying. But yeah, let me know in the comments below on what your thoughts on Jeff Jarrett's opinion on this dream match with the American Dragon and the Aerial Assassin. Like, and yeah, and do you agree with him on any of this? Like, when it comes to him comparing this individual, like the former IWGP UK champion, is like a Caitlyn, what's her name from the WNBA? Caitlin Clark, that's what her name is. Caitlin Clark, Stephon Curry, and other sports athletes. Like, that's what if they're in baseball or in wrestling, or where if they're in football, whether if they're in baseball, whether if they're in any in the sports industry. Like, yeah, he fits the fits through with all of them. That's in the sports world. But if you consider pro wrestling a sport, of course. But let me know in the comments right down below, and I'd love to hear. But let's move on to the let's move on to the next wrestling news. Let's talk about. We got some Swerve Strickland news now as he, I believe, kind of breaks the silence after winning the AEW World Championship. With him saying we can start team building with uh, with new wrestlers coming in to this promotion with it's where Strickland wants to build the company up into a whole new level. Where All Elite Wrestling is known like for constantly signing and bringing new talent into the company. As a result, there are some favorites like within the promotion that don't get as much time in the spotlight as many people believe that they should. And during the AEW Dynamite Media Scrum, Swerve Strickland was asked about the new stars coming into AEW and how he maintains his spot in the company. He said, huge. Like it's easy to find ways to feel like that's a threat to you guys, to us. Like to the locker room, it's an easy way, but it's just like, all right, this is happening. We have to do something more. We have to push, create, innovate. Like we have to start really grinding our gears because this is a constantly moving. It's a never-ending Rubik's cube. Like this industry is and it will